All right, you're welcome back, and if you just joining us, this is Democracy and the Rule of Law. Away from the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, on Monday, January 27, Mariam Sanda was convicted of the murder of her husband, Bilia Aminu Bello. Mariam, the mother of one who was alleged to have stabbed her husband with a kitchen knife, was found guilty of the 2-count homicide charge brought against her by the police. Justice Yusuf Halilu of the Federal High Court was quoted as saying, "It has been said that thou shalt not kill. Whoever kills in cold blood shall die in cold blood. And Mariam Sanda should reap what she has sown. It is blood for blood." This particular judgment, well, we all know that Mariam Sanda, she has the right to appeal, and she will, according to the judgment, she will be in the custody, in prison custody, pending when she exhausts her right of appeal. All right, but this particular judgment, it brought a whole lot of debate on this issue of death penalty. Many are of the view that death penalty has not actually stopped people from committing murder. Punishment are meant to be deterrent, but this issue of death penalty has not stopped murder, people committing this particular offense. And we also have people who are saying in many parts of the world, countries are doing away with the death penalty. And I understand this death penalty is still in our laws. So, Barrister Kolawole, what's your take on this particular judgment first, and the issue of death penalty? Whoever kills, what should be the punishment if we're saying no death penalty? What's your take?
Well, I have tried reading part of the judgment and all that. It would appear to me that the judgment from the Honorable Court was a well-considered one when you look at the fact of the case and all that. When you also look at the pleadings of Miriam and all that, it was neither here nor there. That in the course of struggle with her husband,
he fell on the shisha pot
and all that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using ourselves as an example. If I were a lawyer, I wouldn't have taken that part of defending her. I probably would have gone in the area of provocation and all that. The lady went through the husband's phones and discovered some naked girls and all that the man has been cavorting with her and all that. And if you had gone by that way and all that, the court might maybe a little bit lenient, or at least reason with you that is capable of provoking the husband to take the kind of rash action that she took, especially if you match that with the information that is in there that the woman had been cautioning the husband to desist from those amorous affairs. And even if you were having it, must you be storing such things in your phone which your wife would have access to? But again, that is not justification. I'm not pleading justification.
That's why the way
for what she did, because the action appeared not to be proportionate to what the husband actually did. That to terminate the husband was just simply because he's having, because you have some other remedy. You could sue for divorce and all that, and even go after the man's property and then take a large chunk of it, because marriage is a contract. And if a party to the contract is failing in that contract and all that, you could always call for the termination of the contract and move on. So why didn't Mariam Sanda approach those, explore those emotions, and just out of jealousy, out of anger, out of inability to control her emotions, just went and terminate the husband's life? So I think that isn't too good enough on her part. It's not well reasoned. It was rather rash. And I think the court, with the facts placed before him, the little that I read with regard to those evidences that were before the court and all that, I think the court has done the right thing. As regards the rationale behind a death penalty or not, I think it is Amnesty International and some of these other international organizations that have been campaigning in the last few years and other that death penalty should be abolished, that it hasn't served the purpose for which it was meant to serve and all that. But honestly speaking, I don't belong to that school of thought. I am an advocate of the death penalty because I have studied some of these criminal trials, especially that has to do with homicide, manslaughter, and what have you. And you find, especially the book of this American lawyer who participated in the O.J. Simpson to be a trial lawyer. He's very instructive with regards to some of these murder cases and other. And he gave one particular example of somebody he had gone to court to defend, and he got the man off the hook and was released. Do you know when this man came out of jail and other, he went and killed 2 other persons, including his own mother, after this lawyer was able to get him released and other.
Very well.
From our experience as trial lawyer, you find that most of these criminals actually, they hardly change.
Okay.
The prison system is not meant to reform anybody. Whether in Nigeria or in America, it's all like whether they change it to correctional service or to some of the other. Even the prison yard in America, in Britain, does not reform anybody. Anywhere in the world. So the view that puts them in prison, after a few years they will become better human beings and other, really don't hold water as far as I'm concerned.
All right,
so
thank you very much.
I think I subscribe to the death penalty, because when you take somebody else's life, you deny him his life and also the services that he rendered to the society, and also to his family, and if he has children and wives and all that.
Thank you very much.
It will be a very, very grueling experience.
All right, the beautiful thing about this, well, unfortunate though, but beautiful thing is about this Barrister Sanders case is it affords us the opportunity to interrogate and review this issue of death penalty. Now, according to Amnesty International, which he quoted earlier, 2017, circa 142 countries, more than 2/3 of the countries of the world, have abolished the mandatory death penalty in law or practice. While it is true that the death penalty sanction is a just form of retribution, the death penalty punishment is, however, not a more effective deterrent than the alternative sanction of life or long-term imprisonment, which, well, Barrister Kolawole is against. What's your take?
The death penalty, I think, the history of death as a form of punishment, I think, is obsolete to me, because in a developed country, in a developed era, in a modern era, we shouldn't be using death as a form of punishment. Now, Mr. A kills Mr. B. You now kill Mr. A. At the end of the day, you have achieved nothing. If you kill the murderer, nothing has changed. It will not stop further people from killing other people. Maintaining death penalty will not stop people from killing. Even if you said, okay, we can, whoever kills must be killed, people will still be killing. Killing is a psychological problem to me. There is no normal person that would, even like as I am now, I can't even kill a fly. I can't even slaughter chicken in my house. I call other people to do it. So I think for someone who has the mind to kill his fellow human being is a psychological problem. And all we need to do is to pronounce a life imprisonment instead of death penalty. In the life, while he's in custody, he or she is in custody, you can take such person to correctional center where the psychologist, the psychiatric, and all other specialists in the field can treat the
have
person.
Access to therapy.
Yes. Because it is abnormal for someone to kill his fellow human being.
Right.
So I think that is the option.
Okay.
You know, not just pronouncing life imprisonment, but the person should be treated.
All right.
Yes, should
Very
be treated.
Well. Barrister Sarah, what's your take?
Well, it's an ongoing debate. The debate has been on. I remember my undergraduate days, constitutional law. It was a hot topic, sessional papers presented by the students as to not only the legality of death penalty or capital punishment, but also if it's humane, you know, or otherwise. But as it stands today, the capital punishment, the death sentence, is part and parcel of our laws.
laws.
I remember some years back, the respected Leonard SCN Abakoba, took a matter right up to the Supreme Court. And the question he placed before the Supreme Court was to determine the constitutionality of otherwise of death penalty, and the Supreme Court affirmed the constitutionality of death penalty. But amongst the legal purists, the debate goes on. Perhaps they can bring enough pressure to bear on the National Assembly, so they can look at the provisions of the Constitution. Because if you look at the provision of Section 33 of the Constitution, they say, look, no, the right to life is guaranteed, save in execution of a sentence placed by a court. So until that particular section and some other sections of the various laws, criminal laws, criminal code, like the penal code on murder, armed robbery, treasonable felony, and the like, they are reviewed. So it will continue to remain with us. Now, you see, there's no hard and fast rule as to whether to measure whether death sentence has been effective in reducing the propensity of persons to kill, to crime.
Okay.
Because even right from history, deviant behavior has been part of and parcel of humanity. You always have deviant behavior, and the sociologists and psychologists will tell you there are several sociological and criminological factors are responsible for certain persons behaving in a particular way. Usually, if you are a psychic case, if you have some mental disorder, that can excuse certain criminal behavior. Rather than being sentenced to death, you are giving some other punishments that will aid your treatment. Because once you are not compos mentis, then you cannot be responsible for your actions. Because criminality is based on two things: the mens rea, which is the intention, and then the actus reus. Now, if you are mentally unstable, that means you cannot control your action. So there are provisions in our laws, in our various rules and procedures, and judges are well acquainted with that. I think it was in the light of that my learned friend, Barrister Kola Wole, was talking about the Sanda lady, raising the issue of provocation. And then I want to say this: I hope the prosecution and the investigating bodies, they did their work thoroughly. Because usually most crimes go unpunished due to inadequate investigations by a prosecuting authority. And I dare say that in the last couple of years, their competence and capacity to do thorough investigation, it has been on a downward trend. So this part of relating it to our earlier discussion, these are some of the things. If eventually the president is able to summon, a meeting of all stakeholders on security, these are some of the things they need to look at. How do we strengthen our investigative bodies, prosecutorial bodies, and even the correctional bodies? Because part of the reason you have the prison system, the correctional system, is to reform and then make the individual be able to live as a normal human being within the community. And if you look at it, really, it has worked.